Welcome back to windy, unpredictable Logan, Utah. Utah State leading Weber State 21-6. Let's go to highlights. Devontae Mays, the star of the first half. Take us through it, Darius.
Well, we talked about him at the beginning, and will he be as good as advertised? And he's exceeded expectations. This first one was out of the Wildcat. They did a little bit of a unique offensive play there, put him in the Wildcat formation, let him catch it and go. Second play here, look at the vision, bouncing it outside. We've seen this quite a bit today with the Wildcats allowing the edge and allowing him to get to the edge. He's just too good of a player. One-on-one in space here against Burton. He's got no chance coming down from the safety position. This was a 60-plus yard touchdown, number 3 for Devontae Mays. So he has been excellent and as good as advertised. He's a good back.
There are stats from the first half, and really almost all of the positive yards for Weber State came in the second quarter.
They really did. They changed up their offense a little bit. They started to mix it up. During the first part of the first half, we saw Weber State run the football, run the football, run the football. It wasn't working. At one point, they had negative yards rushing. So they decided to change it up towards the end of that second quarter, and they started to dink and dunk, bring in that short passing game, and supplement it with the run. But the big factor for them in that second quarter was really their quarterback, Clark. He's seeing the field so well and taking what the defense is giving him. We're seeing him run the football when no one is open. He's doing a good job so far. Hopefully they can keep that momentum going, and the Wildcats can shorten down this lead a little bit.
Well, I certainly expect to see a steady diet of Devontae Mays on this opening drive.
Me too. I mean, I don't know why you don't give this guy the ball 100 times a game. I mean, if he's out there and you have him, you got to take advantage of his ability and what he can do.
Well, the wind is really cutting across the field at this point, but it should help the kicker a little bit.
That wind really has come in,
I mean, it's
and is slicing down.
Yeah, slicing across the field now.
You have to think, this is from an offensive coordinator perspective here, you have to think that when the wind is coming down like that, how it affects your game plan is you don't do deep routes. You go away from the deep routes. But the shallow routes to the boundary, those are still fair game. You just got to get your quarterback to ease it up a little bit and not throw it as hard as he typically does. So the passing game is still very much in effect. It's just going to be a little bit of a different style in terms of what your tendencies and what you'll be able to do depending upon the wind.
Second half underway. Lawan Hunt on the return, and Hunt stays on his feet. And Hunt gets it out to the 29-yard line. Good return. 34 yards on the return.
It's all about momentum, Ari. All about momentum. Hunt, another one of those running backs for the Aggies. Didn't get a chance to play as much because of how good Devontae Mays and Lindsey are. But Hunt showing you that he's got some ability as well. We're looking for big things from him.
Weber State player is down at the 22-yard line. We've had several players who've gone down. A couple of them, unfortunately, have returned to the action. If you're just joining us, opening night, Mountain West football. Mountain West Network on Campus Insiders. And for the first time in college football history, this game is streaming live on Twitter. And we've been treated to a fun first half, just getting underway here in the third quarter. Ali McKee is the player down, linebacker for the Wildcats. Taking a look at his left leg down there.
You just hate to see these situations, Ari. First game of the year, trying to make a play. Sometimes it's such a physical game.
Well, particularly in special teams, we have learned, and they've changed a lot of the rules to make special teams have less injuries. All right, McKee is able to walk off. Let's see what happened.
He's going to be on the right of the frame here, number 17. Watch him come down.
He goes down right after he pushed off the blocker.
Not sure if that's a non-contact. Right when he makes contact, look, right there.
Oh, and then he lands on that left leg awkwardly.
Yeah.
That's a great look. That's a good job for people working in the truck and our camera crew. All right, so here we go. First and 10 for the Aggies. Kent Myers in the first half wasn't asked to do a lot. 6 of 10, 39 yards. He did also carry it 4 times for 22 yards. And it's Devontae Mays to the outside. And he delivers the blow to Josh Burton. Safety loses that battle as Mays, a lot of power.
Here's what the scouts look for, Ari. They always talk about feet when you go to running backs. Watch Mays here in those feet. Can he keep his balance when something gets jarred or moved around? Certainly does. Shows you he's got that ability as a complete back. Continuing to get to the edge, though. We talked about the Wildcats and those freshman defensive linemen. They're allowing the running back to get to the edge. That's why Mays is putting up so many big yards.
Well, they get the ball there. Rashad Lewis. And Lewis, the true freshman. Out of bounds at 35. You know, Matt Wells told us this freshman is going to play. He's a playmaker, just 18 years of age.
Young kid, but a baller nonetheless. He's obviously got those instincts as a runner when you put the ball in his hand. And showing you the athleticism there.
And how about the way Myers just flipped it to him? It looked so casual, like they were playing in a sandlot.
I love it.
First and 10. Mays, and this time no place to go. And Devontae Mays, a rare loss on a place. And now back to this one. And watch this. Just tossed it up in the air. Perfect timing.
Nice little flip toss there. Again, the Aggies able to get to the edge. That time it was cornerback Trey Hoskins for the Wildcats who bit inside. Allowed the play to go outside him. That's why it's a big game.
It was one of the first times tonight that they've slowed down Devontae Mays, who now has 10 carries for 169 yards and 3 touchdowns. And it's Mays. Boy, he's showing that strength. I mean, 3 guys had hands on him. He gets just inside the 30. Rayshon Henderson, number 52. And he's the player down. So
maybe taking a quick break there or something?
Well, he's able to run off on his own. But he's going to come out of the game. McKay Murphy checks in. Number 90, Murphy, the son of one of the great baseball players of all time, Atlanta Braves, Dale Murphy.
Deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
I agree. McKay Murphy, the youngest of 7 boys. And Mays makes one guy miss. Mays to the outside, cuts it back, and Mays finally forced out of bounds by Jonah Williams at the 10.
Ari, you got to be able to make the first guy miss. You got to watch Junior Lato, number 93. He's got a chance to get Mays in the backfield there. That dive, not enough to get him in again. Devontae Mays able to get around that edge, continuing to put up numbers.
And it's Mays again. And Mays stopped after a gain of a yard. Now last year, Mays ran for almost 6 yards per carry, Darius. 9 rushing touchdowns, finishes with 966 yards. And I think we're seeing a guy who's even taken his game to another level as he's going to trot out for a play. But 195 yards opening night.
It's a pretty good day. It's just the sort of beginning of the third quarter, too. So quite a lot of football left to play.
Lawan Hunt comes in. He had the terrific return and special teams to give him good field position. He's now to the left of Kent Myers. And he's trying to get to the outside. Stays on his feet. Give him 6. Touchdown Aggies.
Another big-time running play for the Aggies. Shotgun formation. Hunt's just going to take it to the right. And again, able to get to that edge. All right, this is beating a dead horse right now, but the Wildcats have to do something about the edge of their defense, because the second Hunt, Lindsey, Mays, any of those runners gets outside of that defensive end, outside of that box, it's hard to stop them.
Pretty clear that the Aggie coaching staff said, let's go back to the ground attack. Yep. That's what worked early. They got away from it a little bit in the second quarter. The extra point is good, and the Utah State lead is now 28-6. Opening night, Mountain West football. Great drive to start the third quarter for the Utah State Aggies. Welcome back. Maverick Stadium. Look at the rushing yards. 232 rushing yards. 195 of them coming from Devontae Mays. That's a new career high. previous career high 176 yards, and we've still got almost 12 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Quite a bit of football left, but this is the touchdown here from Hunt, He's just going to get around that corner, around that edge, and then take it to pay dirt. But you got to love those big guys up front. Look at all that movement up front from that offensive line. Big, agile offensive linemen that can move. So running back's delight.
And one thing I've really appreciated about the Aggies tonight is they finished their runs. You know, these aren't guys who are trying to avoid contact. At kickoff, you got to remember, it is really, really windy. So good field position here for Weber State.
Weber State, they had a little bit of momentum at the end of that second quarter with being able to drive the football. Got a touchdown right there towards the end. We'll see if they can't pick up where they left off.
Well, they were terrific late in the second quarter. The offense really got in a groove. And they were going this same direction. Trayshawn Garrett. We have not seen much of Eric Wilkes tonight. And Clark changing the play at the line of scrimmage. He is a senior quarterback, started every game last year. It's Garrett. And they're trying to run behind that right side of the line. Cameron Young, Calvin Stain. Those two seniors, two guys preseason, all Big Sky.
Yeah, there's some big boys up front, both of them over 300 pounds.
We've got an injured player, and it's Trayshawn Garrett.
It's definitely not one that the Wildcats want to see down.
Well, they do have depth at the running back position.
Pounding the ground there. Wonder if it's a cramp or what. You also got to remember the elevation here at Maverick Stadium. People always ask, you know, I played a few years for the Denver Broncos, and they always ask about the elevation. Does it really have a difference? Does it make it? Does it have an impact? And I got to tell you, it really does. If you don't practice in that in a day-to-day basis, and you just come out for a weekend or something, it takes you a while to get your wind in your lungs back.
So let's give an example. All right, so if you're San Diego State, and I've done a couple of their games and they go to Wyoming, you're going from sea level to over 7,000.
Right.
I mean, how do you get adjusted in a short amount of time? It's not like they can't go there for a week.
You can't. It's just an advantage for the home team. It really is. It's an advantage for the home team.
2nd and 11 for the Wildcats. Play action, Clark. And he misses the target. Drew Batchelor had found a soft spot in the zone. He just missed him.
He was open. Clark with the miscue there. Sometimes your quarterback and receiver are a little off in that he doesn't think that the receiver is going to settle down. He thinks that the receiver might keep moving. Batchelor on that instance found a place in the zone to settle down. Expected his quarterback to just deliver the ball. Clark was a little bit early on that throw, thinking that Batchelor was going to continue to go outside. Brings up a 3rd down and long, a predictable situation. Probably a time where the Aggies might want to dial up a blitz.
5 wide receivers. Blitz is coming. Clark recognizes it's Fuller, and again, every time he catches the ball, it's a 1st down. I mean, what a game he has had, and you know, he's not even listed #1 on the depth chart. He now has 5 catches.
And you got to think that, you got to understand, is that big size of Vollert. He's 6'5", 245 pounds, so he's such a big target moving across the field. So as a quarterback, it becomes slightly easier just because of his size and height to find him for open situations like what Clark just did.
And he's caught everything that's been near him. He's shown good hands. Yep. And they said he had a great camp, and he's demonstrating it on opening night. It's Thompson, and Thompson gets into Utah State territory to the 49-yard line.
Still very interesting. We haven't seen Wilkes since the first half. We saw Garrett. We saw him just go down a little bit, but even still, we haven't seen Eric Wilkes, who was their most explosive player last year, over 600 yards. We haven't seen him come into the game. Not sure if he's injured or what. We'll have to figure out.
Yeah, because
what's
he was in there
him.
in the return game early, but we didn't see he had a couple of carries. Clark going up over the top. See, we couldn't get to the football. Taiwan Prince.
It's one of the few times we've seen the Wildcats air it out. Prince on the go route there.
Well, they're, you know,
I've just been waiting for them to get Livingston involved, to try to get him involved where he can use that big 6'2" frame and box a guy out for the football. Livingston's #1.
Yeah, he's going to the top of your screen. I mean, this guy, he is their alpha wide receiver. He's one of the captains. He's a senior from Florida.
Nothing against Jalen Davis. It's just Davis is 5'10". He's number 13, one-on-one with Livingston. 5'10" versus 6'2". Seems to be the way to go to me.
Clark, and the catch. Is it going to be picked off? Yes! Interception. Levitt makes the play. That was a bang-bang play. Couldn't tell for a moment who had the football.
It looked for a second like Batchelor had it. Not sure if Levitt pulled the ball out at the last minute on the way down or what happened exactly. We have to take a look at the replay there. I'm sure the refs are going to look at this as well. Watch the ball here. Batchelor's got his hands on it. He bobbled it a bit.
Well, we got to get another look.
Got to get another look at this.
He managed to get that ball without it touching the ground.
That's impressive.
Let's see here. This will be a
It's
better
going to
look.
get into his hands. He's bobbling the football. And it's just right place, right time for Levitt.
He just took the ball away. It's wild. And
Right
the ball
place,
never
right
touched the
time,
ground.
never touched the ground.
Well done. No replay required. First 10 Aggies. The give is to Mays, and Mays works hard to just pick up a couple yards. If you're just joining us, Mays has established a new career high. He's 197 yards rushing, along with 3 touchdowns. All 4 Aggie touchdowns have come on the ground. They really haven't had to pass the ball very much at all. They've only passed it for 63 yards.
Whenever a running back does really well, we always give credit to the back, but you got to also talk about that offensive line and the dominance they've had for the Aggies.
It's Mays, and he doesn't get touched till he's 7 yards downfield, and he picks up the first down. Josh Burton ultimately makes the tackle.
All right, this gets me excited when you see a big man moving. Jude Hockle, number 74, pulled on that play. Made an excellent kick-out block.
Mays. One thing I like about Mays is that he makes quick decisions.
Very
he
decisive.
sees what's out there and he's decisive, right?
Yeah,
he sees
decisive.
it, makes a decision, and goes.
Coaches coach that all the time. They say at the end of the day, I'd rather you go for 3 or 4 yards than trying to do too much
and just
lose.
Right.
Dance around, lose yards.
He doesn't do that. He makes a decision, commits to it. Lawan Hunt in the game now at running back.
Experience back. Devontae Mays.
Nice throw there. One of the best throws of the night. Zach Van Leeuwen makes the catch, sophomore from Provo. And they're going no huddle here.
Yeah, they like that no huddle after a big play. Continue to keep driving on the defense. Keep that foot on the gas pedal. Stay aggressive is what the Aggies are doing right now on offense.
And Hunt, the ball carrier. He gets it to the 29-yard line.
Hurry, you got to look at 74 here. Look at him running out. Just covering up his quarterback. I'd love to see the big man move. Excellent job by Van Leeuwen with the catch and run after catch.
But I love it when a quarterback puts the ball in a position where the player who catches it can immediately stay moving. Just allow that player to get the yards after the catch.
Hit the guy on the run where he doesn't have to slow down, stop, and settle. It's textbook.
Uh-oh. Kent Myers knows he's got a broken play, and he will go down, loss of a couple. It's going to be 3rd and 11.
That could have been a lot worse. The Aggies are really lucky there that ball didn't get put on the ground. Myers did a good job just of collecting the football. Watch the snap here. Right across the screen as the motion was going. That's a timing play, Ari. The timing is off when the center snaps the ball a hair too quick or a hair too late.
Kent Myers did such a great job last year after Chucky Keaton got injured.
Empty backfield here.
And Myers, that's a quarterback draw, had the vision, goes to his left. Myers inside the 10. Brought down, it's going to be 1st and goal. Another design run play for the quarterback.
You got to give credit to Matt Wells and his staff. Motion all guys out of the backfield. They motion both backs out of the backfield, which means those linebackers got to go cover one-on-one. No one's at the second level. So when Myers gets the ball and gets past that initial line of scrimmage, he runs another 15 yards before he runs into any other defender. Excellent design play by Matt Wells and his staff.
Flag before the play.
Ball start. Offense, number 74. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
That's number 74, Jude Hockle there. I've been talking about him pulling on these running plays and passing plays. I like what the big guy's doing, but you got to think, all right, maybe he's a little gassed. Like he might need a timeout or something. Big man moving a lot of weight there. I like to see it.
209 yards for Devontae Mays. Mays again. And Mays tripped up at the 10. Now you think about all those other stud running backs in the Mountain West. They're all home tonight watching. They're watching this, and he's setting the standard real high, right?
Really setting that bar
You're
high.
pumped down at San Diego State. You're like, is he going to go for like 300 opening night?
Certainly could. But that just brings up the point when we spoke to the commissioner as well. Like, this conference is just full of so many great backs. As a former runner myself, it's week in and week out. You got a dominant workhorse who's going to put up yards. So impressive.
Mays in the Wildcat, and he just stumbles.
He's gassed. That's I'm tired. I might need a play or two.
But he's, he didn't tap the helmet. He didn't ask out.
He's still, you see how he's looking at the sideline, though,
no.
kind of hoping.
Somebody's coming in.
Yeah.
His hope is fulfilled.
That happens sometimes. Just like, I don't want to let coach know that I'm tapping out myself, but if I look to the sidelines, maybe they'll get the cue and bring someone else in.
If you could find me game footage of you tapping out at Notre Dame, I'd really like to have that. Just couldn't take it anymore. Walker to the sidelines. All right, 3rd and goal from the 14. Myers, little touch pass, fight for the football, incomplete. I like the play call there. Tarver's a big target, 6'3".
This is what we've been talking about for the Wildcats to do with Livingston. Give your tall receiver a chance to go after the football. Ezekiel Harry there. It's a good job of getting his body in front. I'd like to see that ball kind of go closer to the corner of that end zone, towards that pylon. That way it's kind of in the only spot where your wide receiver has the best chance to get
This is a 32-yard attempt, and the wind is moving hard to his right. And the kick is up, and it is good. Brock Warren, well done. Tough conditions. 31-6, Utah State. Not an easy task getting that field goal. Don't go anywhere. We're coming right back to Logan. Welcome back. Utah State 31, Weber State 6. You're looking at Devontae Mays. What a night. 18 carries, 208 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
It's a good
averaging,
night.
yes, 11.6 yards per carry.
It's a good night, but he's not doing it on his own. You got to give credit to that offensive line. Stevens, Hockle. These dudes are really on the move, playing really well. You know, Ari, what I like to do when I was at Notre Dame, whenever I had a big game, I'd take the offensive line out to Pizza Hut.
That was your way of saying thanks?
That was my way of saying thanks.
The
I was a broke college kid. I didn't have any money, so that was as good as I could do. And it was not the all-you-can-eat buffet. I just ordered like 4 or 5 pizzas.
If America could see the tears streaming down my face, the sympathy as the son of an NFL player just slumming it at Notre Dame, buying Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
All right, we'll come right back to Logan. Head coach Matt Wells has done a masterful job, and he's had to do it amidst a lot of change. They've done so well here. A lot of his staff have taken jobs at other institutions. This is the 3rd straight season where he's lost an offensive and defensive coordinator and had to retool, and all they do is keep finding ways to end up in bowl games.
Keeps taking the team to bowl games. He's done such an excellent job. He's got 25 wins in his first 3 seasons, school record. No head coach has ever come in and produced that well in 3 years. Matt Wells showing you that he has got this program on the rise.
And the other interesting thing is, when I asked him, I said, how are you different? He said, I'm allowing guys to do their jobs more. I have more trust in the staff. As Clark, and he will go down at the 24-yard line. Huerta makes the tackle.
You got to trust that staff, Ari. You really do. And the funny thing about Coach, one of the things that we got a chance to talk to him about was, he mentioned that in his 4th year as a head coach, nothing surprises him anymore. So just goes to show you.
Well, if you're prepared to play in all the different weather elements and all the different venues in the Mountain West,
and the
you got to
styles
be
of
prepared
offense,
for everything.
Yeah, you really do.
Trayshawn Garrett, who's been banged up a couple times, they're running hard.
Good to see him back in the game.
Gain of 7.
Still no Wilkes. Still no Wilkes. Have to see if we might could find him on the sideline somewhere.
That's why we need Shea Pepler. She's got a game herself.
Yeah, no, she's working.
Yeah, she's working. And Garrett there, well, that was good. Tough running, and picks up the first down. Now, they're only going to have, well, the wind is really coming across the field, but if you're going to throw the ball, you got to keep in mind you only got 4 minutes left going this direction. And you're down by 25 points. If you're going to take a chance, this would be the time.
Well, back to Livingston. He's down at the bottom of your screen, number 1.
Clark's going to dump it down, and Livingston finally gets his hands on the football.
He's running that
just
crossing
his
route
second
there.
catch of the night.
And he hasn't really been targeted. It's really the thing. He hasn't had very many opportunities.
Clark. And that ball was behind Batchelor.
Still was able to get 2 hands on the football, though. The O additive there, Ari, is if you can get 2 hands on the ball, even if it's behind you, every wide receiver coach in the country will tell you, you got to come up with that football.
And I think
you got to catch it.
He would say the same thing too, right?
You got to catch it. So in many respects, it's a drop pass, even though the ball was behind him. Still considered a drop pass.
3rd down. Empty backfield. Clark delivers, and Livingston makes the catch, but he's well short of the first down. It was a gain of maybe 2 yards.
And that's actually a mistake by Livingston there. Coaches always tell you, if it's 3rd down, no matter what, even if it's a short route, you have to run it to the sticks. You have to. You got to make an adjustment and run it to the sticks so that when you catch the ball, if and when you do, you got a first down. So you can't run a 2-yard route, even though the route's supposed to be 2 yards in that case.
Rodriguez is back deep for the Aggies. Wildcats to punt. With the wind, he could try to angle this thing, and he goes for the rugby-style kick. And Rodriguez better get away from that football. And DeMeo, first-year punter, he's a junior college guy. That was well done. So not great field position coming up for the Aggies. Opening night, Mountain West football. We'll be right back. This Saturday on Campus Insiders, join us for Air Force football when the Falcons take on Abilene Christian. Kickoff at 2 Eastern, 1 Central. It'll be on campusinsiders.com and also streaming live on Twitter. Tonight, the first ever college football game streaming live on Twitter. And back it up, 2 in the first weekend.
Digital history right now, digital history. I'll be at that Air Force game too. Really looking forward to seeing them.
And I believe that's your first game at Air Force,
My
right?
first time there,
it's special.
yeah.
You're going to enjoy it. It's very unique. And just like here, when you're looking out at the press box, it's just gorgeous. You're going to love it.
Beautiful view.
Colorado Springs.
Got to love it. The Aggies building on some momentum right now. Last 2 trips come away with points.
It's Lindsey, the ball carrier. There you see Wilkes.
He's there.
Yeah.
Doesn't have his helmet on or anything.
Oh, he's on crutches.
Oh, he's on
you
crutches.
can see the crutches
wow.
there. All right, so now
there
we've got
is.
our answer. That's why he's not in there. That's
It's
not good news on opening night for the Wildcats.
Such a solid back.
Fortunately, they do have good depth at that position. Second down. And it's Lindsey, and he's a yard shy of the first down. Lindsey seeing action here as Devontae Mays getting a break. Lindsey only 12 carries a year ago, but he averaged almost 8 yards per carry.
That goes to show you that big playability from Lindsey. It's there. He's just playing behind a really dominant back, sort of a complete back in Devontae Mays. But they like Lindsey and his skill set. He complements what Devontae Mays does very well.
Totally different styles. Third and short. And Lindsey able to pick up the first down. And there they show confidence that he can run between the tackles and not just try to slash or get to the outside.
And you always appreciate that as a running back, for the coach to have confidence in you when it's third and short, for him to say, you know what, instead of doing a quarterback sneak or some kind of trick play with a pass and a play action, just give it to my running back. I know he can get a yard. I trust him to get a yard.
First and 10. And Lindsey spins away and crosses the 25.
It's one of those situations where the Wildcats know that the Aggies are going to run the football. The question is can you stop it? The Aggies are going to continue to feed these horses. Lindsey, Mays, Hunt, these dominant running backs that they have are going to continue to give them the ball.
And in these conditions, why not? There's so much wind. And that's why, you know, when this season gets late, you get into late October, you get into November, in the Mountain West, you're going to see all different kinds of weather. And here, on a night like this, with gusts of winds more than 25 miles per hour, sticking with the ball on the ground if you're picking up first downs makes perfect sense. I mean, look at those flags going. I mean, that's I'm not sure you want to throw the football.
This is that's why this continues. One of the reasons why this continues to be a great conference for running backs. You have plenty of opportunities to run the football. If you're a young recruit, young high school football running back, and you're thinking, where can I go and have a lot of opportunities? Somewhere in the Mountain West makes a lot of sense.
I'd be surprised if Myers just keeps it here. Oh, he's in a little bit of trouble. Myers showing off the speed. Myers gets the first down and tiptoes up the sideline. Well done, Kent Myers.
Making something out of nothing, showing you that elusiveness from Kent Myers there. This is something we used to see from Chucky Keaton. So, play out of Chucky Keaton's playbook. The play breaks down. Almost a sack there. Myers able to elude and then get to the outside and make something happen. Now, as a coach, what you'd like to see is him tuck that football when he gets to the outside. Not that there was a problem on that play. You tuck the football, safety first, secure the football. But a good run by Myers.
10 yards on that play, and it's Lindsey, the ball carrier, and they're just taking chunks of time off the clock. They will not, no reason to run another play here. Up 31-6, 15 seconds and counting in the third quarter. And the Aggies say, you know what? We're good. We'll wait for the fourth quarter. Opening night, Mountain West football. Mountain West Network on Campus Insiders, streaming live. College football for the first time ever on Twitter. 3 quarters complete in Logan, Utah. And the Aggies having some fun in the running game, getting the job done. We've got one more quarter. Stick around. We'll be right back to Maverick Stadium.